This video is all about women and sex. Now, you may have heard the statement or even said the statement many times. If you're a woman listening to this, you might have said, why are you only interested in sex? You're only with me because you're interested in sex and all this sort of stuff, all these sort of senses. I personally heard this many times myself. Why are you only interested in sex? You're only interested in sex, and all these sort of statements, all these negative statements. They're said in a negative way. I have a fairly healthy sex drive because I'm a healthy human being, and I've heard this sentence many times. This stems from a negative past, as well as some things, guys, to remember. If a woman is saying these things, she needs reassurance. For one, she needs reassurance that you're not just interested in sex, and you're interested in other things as well. If a woman feels really heard and loved and understood, and she really feels like you care about her feelings, and she feels you're romantic and all these sort of things, she won't be saying these sentences. If she says sentences like you're only interested in sex, you may be coming on too strongly and aggressively in a sexual sense. If you're coming onto her constantly in a very aggressive sexually type way, it's good sometimes. Women do like it sometimes, but if you do it too much, they can feel like you're only interested in sex and you're just using them to get yourself off, sort of thing. So you need to do the courtship. You need to take them on dates all the time. The courtship never ends. You need to communicate effectively, constantly, to make sure they really believe that you care about their feelings, and vice versa. Now, women often think like this because they may have had a negative past. There's some things in their past or partners they've had in the past where they've slept with them and then they got ghosted, so they think in their head that all men only care about sex. This is obviously not the case. We all know that it takes a lot more than sex to create a 10 out of 10 relationship, but women think, oh, men only care about sex, so if everything else is terrible, as long as the sex is good, it's fine. It's not the case. It's not the case at all. You can have good sexual chemistry with someone, but the relationship is terrible. And men will leave the relationship, straight up. It doesn't really matter. Now, in saying that, if you want a 10 out of 10 relationship, there's a lot of components, and a 10 out of 10 sexual side of it is one of those sections. If you want a 10 out of 10 relationship and your sexual relationship with your partner isn't a 10 out of 10, you won't have a 10 out of 10 relationship. You have to have a 10 out of 10 sex life. You have to have a 10 out of 10 in communication. You have to have a 10 out of 10 in affection and intimacy and all these other things, right? So if you want a 10 out of 10 relationship, you've got to get a 10 out of 10 in all these other segments as well. So sex is a huge component of a 10 out of 10 relationship, and you've got to have a healthy, positive sex life, but it takes a lot more than just the sex, as we all know. So girls, if you hear yourself wanting to say the sentence, you only care about sex, you're probably saying it because you want some reassurance. You want him to be a better communicator, to do better courtship, to use communication more effectively. That may be the case, but if you're saying sentences like this, it's coming from a place of negativity, and it's only going to make your partner feel criticized. So remember what effective communication is, right? Effective communication is asking yourself how your partner feels, or whoever you're talking to feels, by the time you finish saying the sentence. So think, before you say a sentence or a paragraph to someone, how are they going to feel after I finish talking? Do they feel criticized, negative, unhappy, unmotivated? If they do, then that's ineffective communication. If they feel inspired, motivated, happy, positive, and more attracted to you, that is effective communication. Remember, everything you say and everything you do in a relationship either makes their attraction for you go up or down. So keep that in mind very carefully. So effective communication is how the person you're talking to feels. Do they feel motivated? Like if you want your partner to take out the garbage, how are you going to ask him to take out the garbage? And how's he going to feel? Because you could yell and scream at him and call him an idiot and a lazy person, and screaming at him to take out the garbage. How's he going to feel? He's not going to feel motivated to do it. He won't feel inspired to do it. He'll feel criticized and negative and feel belittled. That is ineffective communication, and it will lead to arguments and fights and all that sort of stuff. So if you're having lots of arguments, it's because you're not using a communication effectively. You need to communicate in a way that they feel motivated, inspired, happy, positive, and more attracted to you. So there's lots of different ways to do this, and I've talked about it in other videos. So go back and watch those other videos if you want to learn more about effective communication. So there's quite a few reasons why a girl can say that men are only interested in sex, and it's a negative statement, and it's not true. Guys, every single girl I've been with has asked me this question, right? So you're gonna hear it. You will hear it. Take the time to realize if a girl says it to you, you need to communicate more effectively. You need to romance her a little bit more. You need to come from a more sensual place when it comes to sexuality and not just aggressiveness. Aggressiveness is good sometimes, and other times you need to be sensual, okay? You need to be a bit more softer and slow. You got to use your intuition and pick the times. Pick the times to be aggressive and pick the times to be sensual and sensitive when it comes to sexuality. Keep on with the effective communication and the reassurance in this fact. She may be feeling a bit low that day and just wants some reassurance about how much you love her. So keep that in mind, okay? Use effective communication and be in touch with her feelings and try to figure out and put yourself in her shoes how she feels. Use empathy. Effective communication is all about empathy as well. So there's a lot to think about in that question. So if you've got any questions in regards to this video, put in the comments, and if I can help in any way I can, let me know. My purpose and my goal in life is to help as many people as possible with the relationships. So remember, go where the winners go, 110%.